All right, you two, we'll be starting here in just a minute. As soon as the commercial breaks kick off, don't go nowhere. Share this video. Get it started. Get it started. See, I have to roll all the punches up. Well, bam. Hopefully I tied that in right. Let's see. Oh, yeah. All right, all right. What's up, good people? Angry American Radio, Highway Jack, running solo tonight. 10 Man is out. I guess he didn't know Thanksgiving was over, so it is what it is. All right, let's get this party started. Got a couple of things. Man, the headphones are a little on the loud side. All right, I guess you hear me. Anyway, I had to do a little check there. What do we got? What do we got? Active shooter, Ohio. No. Ixnay on the Amscray. Wasn't no active shooter. Only shots fired was the campus police taking a guy down. That's what it was. That's what went down. So what was he? Somalian descent, a refugee. What? Get out of town. You got to be kidding me. Really? You mean he wasn't a corn-fed middle American? What? Get out of here. Had a butcher knife. Some said a machete, some said a butcher knife, whatever it is, what it is. He decided at 10 o'clock, which was the top of the hours when they change classes there, and decided he was going to run over a few people and see who he could take out. And he did just that. So unfortunately, some people were injured. I don't believe, as last I saw anyway, that, and correct me if I'm wrong, which usually doesn't happen, but if it does, let me know about it. I'll be glad to listen in. But nobody was killed in that incident except for the Somalian dude, which I think the guy was like 18 years old. I was trying to find my report on it. Oh, bear with me. It is allergies. Always got to love getting old. 11 people were rushed to the hospital. One was in critical condition, according to University Police Chief Craig Stone. So, it could have been a whole lot worse. And the thing that gets me about this is Ohio is a right to carry state, but yet they don't allow campus carry. They're still fighting that battle, which it bewilders me. I mean, this goes all across the country. All these mass shootings that happen, where are they at? Duh, gun-free zones. I mean, is it that hard to figure out, boys and girls? I mean, seriously, it's pretty much an easy done deal. But hey, I'm just a simple-minded, guy. Grew up here in America, and didn't get any massive college degrees, I guess. Oh wait, yeah, I got a little bit of college, but anyway, I digress. I'm trying to cover you guys, and as you can tell, if you're watching a YouTube video, I'm fumbling around. We'll say that we've got a guy, a black gentleman, that decided to take on Obama's racism. And this gentleman's name is, bear with me, the article, of course, has to start black, man, but it's Robert Rosenderry. He's calling himself the American Patriot. He has taken a stand to form a walk. This cat's going to walk from California to D.C., walk. So he's taken the whole Run Forest Run thing to a Walk Robert Walk, and he's going to do it with a GoFundMe account. And he's looking to try and bring down and end racism and hatred and division that is so prominent in this country. And he said his walk is also in remembrance of the Benghazi travesty. So, with that being said, hats off to the cat. I hope he does well with that. And that's a long walk, my brother, long walk. But if you can get some attention out of it, that's all good. So if you guys look him up, I don't know how, it doesn't say how he has his GoFundMe, but it's the American Patriot. I am the Angry American. The American Patriot, Robert Rosenderry on the GoFundMe account. All right, so I had to get that in real quick before I got distracted by shiny things. You guys know how that works. But where I was going while I was shuffling my paperwork, the Buckeye Alert. I mean, active shooter on campus, and they tell you to run, hide, or fight. I mean, that kind of goes without saying, doesn't it? I mean, preferably fight, get the guy knocked down, taken over, and be done with. But run, hide, or fight. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. So they reported a bunch of shots fired, and the shots fired was, guess who? None other than, like I said before, the campus police. Yes, I digress from story to story and bounce around, see if you can keep up with me. It's like that, and that's the way it is. All right. Scotty has changed some things in here, and I'm hearing a little echo in my head. Well, maybe that's the voices in my head. I'm not really sure. All right. Big celebration of 90 years. What's up with that? Fidel Castro, dead and gone, only about 89 years too late. Oh, did I say that out loud? Roll. This guy, FYI, for you guys that don't know Castro, I mean, his biography, look it up, is just boom. It's communist city all over the board. I mean, to try and list this cat's socialist agenda and communism and all the way from, I don't care if it's the Bay of Pigs, the Cuban Missile Crisis. I mean, foreign wars, just if you got something crazy going on that's socialist and communist, he was your man. He was in there. Stepped down, turned over to his brother in 08, he retired, or 06, I think is when he actually stepped down. 08, he quote unquote retired. But it gets me that people today, in fact, I had it sent to me, Jill Stein, which we all just love to death, thanks to her pushing the, what we'll talk about later about the recount. Fidel Castro was a symbol of the struggle for justice in the shadow of empire. And she just put Presidente. I'm sure she probably meant to say El Presidente. What a freaking joke. You got to be kidding me. This guy killed thousands upon thousands of people. He tortured gays, couldn't stand blacks. I mean, banned Christmas. I mean, 20% when he took over in power in Cuba, an estimated 20% of the population tried to flee immediately. And then boom, where'd they go? South Florida, 90 miles away. So, he's gone, and you got Obama giving him praises. Matter of fact, Obama gave him a healthy praise. And I couldn't, it's just too much to even read this whole thing. But he claims that, he's gone down there and tried to revitalize the Cuban and American friendship, and he extended a hand of friendship to the Cuban people. But there was a particular part in this speech, and yeah, I'm trying to find it. I should have highlighted. I know you don't have to tell me that. Just calm down, chill. It's okay. It's going to be all good. But, oh man, I just don't even know where to begin. There's so much crap in this. But anyway, he offered condolences, obviously, to the family, but the gist of what he said was that Castro did so much for the Cuban population. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. I mean, this is, as YouTubers, you can see this is a long little speech here. But the guy was down there, 6 decades, and I don't know how he didn't get taken out. Well, yeah, I do too. You had like everybody and their brother was either afraid of him or protecting him. So he was, pretty well taken care of. Now, I guess his brother's going to take over and run things in the ground some more. But, you gotta be kind of, the guy lived 90 years. It's amazing that some of the most evil people out there live the longest lives. I don't know, there must be some narcissistic joke involved in that, because it just blows my mind that you can have the evil continue to live. And then, we all know that we feel anyway, and I'm one of those, that we get all these good people we know that come up with cancers and diseases and crazy stuff. So, I mean, you know, Manic Media Monday, what do you say? I mean, Fidel Castro is dead and gone. We had a active shooter, quote unquote. It wasn't an active shooter in Ohio, all the way to go Ohio. But guess what? It's the week after Thanksgiving. What does that mean? It's the week after Thanksgiving. Now, really what it means is it's a week closer to Christmas time. So you guys get ready, boys and girls. Start putting them pennies together and making them dollars, because you got to buy the kiddos whatever the new toy. I don't even know what the latest greatest toy is. Now that even though my daughter is in the teenage years, she's I know what to buy her. Something horse related, pretty easy. And I'm not talking about feed either. But you know, there is so much going on that it is a time to reflect and give a little bit of thanks to our family and friends and everybody for supporting everything that we do here at Just for Fun Radio, what I do out there. And, you know, I just got to tell you, the holiday season, I am glad it's here personally. I'll be glad to get the politics behind us for a little bit and talk about some other stuff that makes us mad, like what? Friday, you know, crazy shopping Friday. Although I really didn't see that many Walmart videos this year. I guess maybe because I took a break from social media. Yes, Howie Jack took a break from social media for the almost the whole week, actually, last week. So that's probably why I'm stammering and kind of dancing around a little bit, because I just was like, the heck with it. You know, I'm going to take some time off. We didn't do a show last week. For anybody that tuned in, I apologize. We wasn't here. But, you know, it is time to take some time. And New Year is right around the corner. And what does that mean? Trumpsters, get ready, because, well, I'm going to hold off on the recount thing till after the first break. Then I'm going to talk about the recount. But it's coming. We'll talk about it. And Lady Liberty just posted on Angry American page, as a matter of fact, what I was talking about, the gentleman that is going to make that trek. So if you didn't understand what I was talking about, get on the Angry American page, check it out, and you'll see. But again, we have no crayons or Play-Doh here tonight, so it's just the facts, boys and girls, and some fun. Hope you have some fun. Get some callers calling. If you got some fun stuff, you know, I think Tin Man and I was trying to put some stuff out there in the fun situation. But, you know, it's just crazy. I mean, I got things running through my head. I'm trying to think what you guys really want to hear. So I'm not really sure, because you guys are probably like me. You're glad Turkey Day was here, and politics just kind of set in the brink of getting fatter. Oh, not everybody, just me. I was getting fatter. You guys wasn't getting fatter. But, you know, and I'm scrolling down just to see what you guys are talking about on the Angry American page, and everybody is talking about the Ohio, excuse me, the Ohio shooting. And, you know, the thing about it is, it looks like most people are ticked off for the same reason, that it was called an active shooter, and it was not an active shooter. So mainstream media, did you screw up again? Did you get it wrong? Or did they just speak too quick? I'm not sure. Or maybe both. Oh, it's awful quiet in here without the Tin Man in here to pick on, man. I hope you're listening, and I hope you're laughing while you're supposedly working. I really don't think the cat's working, though. I think he's probably sitting at home behind the dinner table with a big old fat plate of leftovers. But it is funny that you guys are really I like it. You're calling the mainstream media out on this active shooter thing, man. I'm digging it. That is cool. I'm glad to see you guys get on it. Now what you need to get on is, if you're not an NRA member, jump on the website, join the NRA, and give them something to, you know, some more help to run with. So what are we going to talk about before we talk about this recount? All right. I don't know. You guys have seen the whole pipeline thing going on. What kind of ticks me off about that, and I'm not going to pick sides on that, because I'm just not going to. But I will tell you that I do see both sides of the fence, and it is, again, the mainstream media is saying that the government is not trying to talk to the Indians, which is BS. Again, go to the page. You'll see the very extensive article. I mean, like over 1,000 meetings tried to be held, and I think 300 and some odd were held. But this is one case that I'm kind of, as much as I really hate to be this way, being in the position I'm in, I'm kind of leaning more toward the government stance on this, because they did put a lot of time and effort in researching this. They did try to pick the best route, at least as it's reported, to run the pipeline. And I understand the Sioux Indians and they're concerned about their water source. But then you had this crazy video that last night the government was spraying them down with chemicals and using chemical warfare on them. There was no truth found of that. That was no legitimacy found in that. And that kind of just blew that whole thing out of the water. I mean, when you tell falsehoods like that, any credibility that you had in your story is long gone, just out the window, done and over with, gone. So, the lady that posted that and said that the government was using chemical warfare on them, that just, really, really killed your story. And yes, if you're watching on YouTube, I am multitasking and trying to answer comments, which I appreciate you guys. And I said I wasn't going to do that till the break, but it's all good. We'll try to answer a couple. Now, why do I take the government side, as I'm asked? Okay. Only because of the statistics. I'm sorry, not statistics. Wrong terminology. Bear with me. It's crazy. I'm all alone in here. I'm alone. And I'm losing my mind. Let me pull up here and see if I can tell you guys how many meetings were supposedly held or to be held. Again, the article's out there, and it just, all right, here we go. Record shows that the Corps of Engineers actually held, the Corps, Walking Dead, I'm taking. Anyway, 389 meetings with 55 different tribes, trying to get the Standing Rock Sioux tribe to understand, what's going on, all the precautions that they've taken. And, I read the whole report, and as long as the media didn't drop the ball on this and falsify this, which I doubt to be the case. And why do you say that? Because it's actually a report that was written up and not just, CBS, NBC talking about it. But, I'm for it, man. Let's pipe that stuff. Let's get that pipeline going. Let's get some oil flowing, and let's make the most out of what we have, because we are not using what we need to make America great again. And I know that's a cliche line now, but not saying that America is not great, because it is a great country, even though we do have a ton of faults. But, again, you ask why I'm taking that side. That's why I read the whole story. I think I don't want to call this a publicity stunt that the Indians are doing. I think they feel they do have a valid protest, but I think as a whole for America, the pipeline is just that, the pipeline we need to be put in. So, I hope it works out. And this whole talk about chemical warfare, again, I totally find to be just a bogus thing. So, I would hate to think that over a real protest that the government would do something like that, but they won't do anything against people out there, pulling people out of cars, busting property up and all this stuff. So that's my feelings on that. If anybody disagrees with that, hey, you're entitled to do just that. Oh, well. But I had a little shiny thing. I have ADD, and with a Tin Man not here, and I'm going to blame everything on him tonight if it goes wrong anyway. Because he can't be here to defend himself. And if he calls in, I'll hang up on him. No, I would hang up on you. Yeah, I would. So, oh, man. Leah Remini, however you say her name, what show was she on? She was on the one with the guy who worked for the fake UPS. Anyway, she's a little hottie that was a Scientologist, and she has gone off the reservation. Should I say that, reservation, after talking about the Sioux Indians? I don't know. But after she's been gone from Scientology for 3 years, and now all of a sudden, there's lawsuits flying, and she's got a documentary coming out tomorrow night, I believe it is. And she is hot and heavy on some alleged abuse and things going on in Scientology. Now, I'm not a fan of Scientology. I've seen Tom Cruise jump up and down on Oprah's sofa, and he's a Scientologist. And there's a lot of folks out there that are Scientologists, but, to each their own. But if she comes out, and I'm interested to see what this documentary is going to be about tomorrow. because I just saw a little snippet interview. I think it was from the Ellen show or something like that today, as a matter of fact. So I'm interested to see what she has to say about Scientology, because it'll be a different topic to talk about other than the backstabbing politics. Although I guess you could still call that backstabbing politics, but you know, it's Scientology and they're suing, you know, she's wanting to sue for $1.5 million. They say that's crazy. They're wanting to sue for $3 million and yada, yada, yada. But Scientology has always kind of been a big question for me because of just what it is. I mean, I'm not going to slam any Scientologists, because the first thing you guys will do is, well, he's a Christian. Of course, he's going to slam Scientology. I could give a rat's hind end what you like or don't like when it comes to your religious choices, as long as it doesn't interfere with others. And that holds true with Christianity too. I think that, you know, Christians have their beliefs, whether they're Baptist, Catholic, or, you know, whatever, and the Hindus and everybody. But as long as you're not interfering and stepping on the toes of other people and doing other people wrong, that's fine. Now you look to what we had today in Ohio, and this cat, although a young man, which is the ones that do these crazy things, goes out with the, they said a butcher knife and some say machete, and he runs over people, and then he, you know, that's done. And while ISIS is not claiming per se that was their agenda, or that he was part of them, he definitely had mentioned, and I believe it was his Facebook page, that he had some problems with, with Muslims getting attacked. So do you want to call that a religious attack, or you want to call it ISIS attack? You want to call it a crazy kid, misled kid, what have you? I think all of the above. But that goes back to my original thing. I don't care if he was Muslim or not, if he didn't do anything to hurt anybody. In this case, he did. So got to hold the cat accountable. And what was his accountability? He's going to be 6 feet under. So that, you know, that's the way you deal with that stuff. I'm going to take a commercial break. And yes, I rushed in the show. I'm going to try to gather it up, make the next 20 minutes a little better than this 20 minutes. So you got to call in. You got something you want to talk about, hit me up. Let me know about it. But we're going to take a break to pay some bills, man. I got to pay some bills. Matter of fact, I got to get some Christmas money together. So if you guys want me to start a GoFundMe account, just let me know and I'll start one, because I got a big Christmas present I want for myself. It's got a big bore kit for my Harley. But anyway, with that being said, we're going to kick it on a commercial break. As I said, I should have told you this before. 20 seconds commercial. We'll be back. Angry American Radio, right back at you. Yes, I'm trying to get something together for you. YouTube, you can't hear no commercials. Can't hear no music. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do? Oh, man. Oh, that's where it's at. All right, Angry American Highway Jack back with you. Manic Media Monday. And what did I say I was going to talk about? Oh, yeah. You know, Hillary's told Donald that, you know, you should accept the loss that you're going to take, the whooping that you're going to get, and move on and make, you know, let this country heal, right? Well. Who's backpedaling now? Jill Stein, the Green Party candidate, which amazes me. In 48 hours, she got raised like $5.8 million. She got a goal of $7 million. I mean, boom, bam, boom. $5.8 million bucks. George Soros, maybe? Could be. Might be. But, you know, people have spoken. The election's over. Trump, a Republican, said Saturday, we must accept the result and look to the future. And I agree. You know, how many times are we going to kick this thing? But let's look at the results as they're talking about. Desperate Democrats. All right, from 2000 to 2016, 4,687 statewide elections. They had 27 recounts. Out of those 27 recounts, 3 produced different results. Just 3. The biggest swing in 2000 for the presidential election, Bush versus Gore in Florida. If you remember, they demanded a recount. 1,247 votes is what he needed to catch up. It didn't happen, guys. It's not going to happen now. Wisconsin. And get this, the thing that gets me about this, the only states that she's wanting a recount in are the states, and of course she has to pay for this, except for the fact the money left over from paying for the recounts she gets to keep if the donors don't want back, which I'm sure they're not going to be able to reach them for whatever reason, so she'll keep the cash. But Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, the biggest states that I really didn't think Trump was going to get a runaway on those. But 10,700 votes in Wisconsin, he was up. Michigan, he was up 24,000 and some change. And PA, 68,000. Even if she got all those, she's not going to get them. It's not going to change. This is something you got to ask yourself. Is Hillary behind this? Is George Soros behind this? Or is Jill just trying to get some cash? And the media says a little bit of all of the above. Ms. Stein's just trying to get some cash. Excuse me. But again, what gets me about this whole recount thing, and Hillary says it's not me, it's Stein. Well, it's funny because Hillary's sending in an attorney to make sure that this count's done properly and whatnot. But it's not her idea. It's desperate Democrats is all it is. Or let's rephrase that. Liberals. The liberals are doing it. So, and what gets me is Stein, who didn't even have a chance to win. Let's say if she was so for Hillary winning and Trump not, which she knew she didn't have a chance to win, then why did she run? I mean, in Florida alone, she probably took enough votes away from Hillary to cause Hillary to lose a state. Because if I remember right, she did. I don't have the numbers in front of me. I think Jill actually did pretty good in Florida. But, you know, this is hypocrisy at its best. I mean, you got to appreciate the fact that Hillary Clinton I was going to say stomped all over Trump, but she tried to about, oh, well, he's not going to accept it, you know, and made fun of him and all this stuff. And of course, Trump went on and said, I will accept the results if I win. Well, guess what, boys and girls? Get your Play-Doh and crayons out because he won. Cut and dry, plain and simple. And there's no way that this is going to change unless there is some serious, and I mean serious, corruption going on. Now, of course, Trump kind of put his foot in his mouth. He's good at that by using rigged. I mean, he said rigged so many times during his campaign that he kind of has to go along with this recount. I mean, he doesn't really have a choice either way anyhow, but he's got to just let it slide because, you know, he said it too many times that it was rigged. Now, Obama said that there's always a chance in one of his interviews, many that are on YouTube. And of course, just like he says on YouTube that he was born in Kenya. Now he says he wasn't, blah, 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 blah. You know, they changed. I mean, golly, they change their story so often that it's no wonder it changes because they can't keep up with what they said the last time around. And who am I talking about? I'm talking about the left. Politicians in general, yeah, they do stretch the truth, tell it how they want it to be. But I'm looking at what we got going on now. This recount is, I'm going to say, you know what, Trump, you're right, my man. It is completely ridiculous, and it's a scam of some sort. I'm just waiting for the dust to clear to see what kind of scam this is. I mean, is it Jill Stein trying to get money in her pocket? I don't know, man. That's almost crazy to think about that being the case. But then we're talking about Jill Stein. So, yeah, that's a possibility. Or is it to cause to keep this tainted and dark cloud over this new president-elect? Is that what it's about? Is it just trying to keep the story going? And where has Hillary been? I mean, you haven't seen her talk or do anything. And, you know, she hasn't been saying anything, although she's sending her lawyer in. But, you know, it is kind of funny that everything that Hillary, and this is what kills me about you people on the left, and I, you know, just take it for what it is. You guys will not admit anything Hillary's done wrong, but yet you want to call Trump out on his taxes. I mean, of all things, his taxes didn't get anybody killed in America that I know of, but yet we have some strong allegations, and I'll give you guys a bit. No, I won't even do that. We know for a fact Hillary didn't react to Benghazi, and yes, we do keep bringing Benghazi up because that was something that should have been prevented, and she has done so many other things, but that should have been taken care of first and foremost. You know, and the whole thing about who will take your call at 3 o'clock in the morning, well, obviously it won't be her. And the whole fact that there's so much, I'm not even going to get on the Benghazi kick because there's so much to be said about that. And so many videos out there that people that have more factual basis than I do to talk about, I'm going to leave that to them. I've seen and watched and read and heard all this stuff. I have no doubt she left our people high and dry. For that alone, she needs to go to jail, in my opinion. And that's all that matters. Highway Jack's opinion. Angry American. Although you can tell I'm not really that angry right now. I mean, things are going pretty doggone good for the Trumpsters. And I think for America as a whole, other than these stupid protests that we obviously know have been paid for, and the guys are getting paid and getting health insurance out of it, which just drives me freaking nuts. You get punched in the face, Soros will pay for it. You know, I mean, you get slapped, he'll pay for it, whatever. You know, as long as you can go out and stir the pot and try to make the Republicans look crazy, which is what really gets me, because everybody that's getting pulled out of cars and all this stuff, are Republicans doing it? No, the left's doing it. So, I mean, they're doing everything that they claim they're against. I mean, that is just, man, it blows me away. I'm going to answer that little picture sent in a minute. But, you know, I'm eager to see when the dust settles what this recount is going to bring out. But I love this meme. Somebody posted, Hillary, their change of plans, folks. We're going to Cuba where I'm running for president. Yeah, good luck down there. They'll just kill you off and be done with it. Which, I don't know, do you guys agree with Trump? He's saying he's going to pull back the Cuban deal. I mean, he's basically says he's going to pull back every deal that Obama made, which probably isn't a bad thing. But, you know, one thing that everybody ignores about what Trump said about the Cuban deal, he said, if they can't make it good for Cuba, basically good for the people. Okay. And obviously he knows that it's a bad deal and it's going to be bad for the people, but he does give a little bit of hope and light at the end of the tunnel. If you can make the deal work for the good of the people, he's for it. And that goes back to everything he said about, you know, whether it was immigration, he said illegals, boom, you're out of here. End of story. Now, do we really think he's going to go around and go and start deporting people like crazy? No. Does there need to be a better vetting process? Yes. We all know that. That's no secret. I mean, look at this guy today. He was, I don't know if he was born in America, the Somalian that was in Ohio, but he had a perfect chance to live in America free and clear, go to college and do all this stuff. And he goes off the deep end and does, you know, this killing rampage. And why? Because of, he's, at least on his Facebook page, they said because of the attacks being done against Muslims. So, you know, oh man, it just drives me crazy that we continue to have this dog chasing its tail conversation about what's going on in America. And thankfully, Hillary didn't win, and hopefully we'll continue to go forward and Trump will come through for us. Now, he's got a 100-day plan out there. And boys and girls, that right there says a lot, because most presidents elect don't come in and have a 100-day plan. It's a contract, actually, he called it. This is what I'm going to do for you guys. So we got something to hold him accountable to. Boom, hold his feet to the fire. Now everybody's talking about, oh, he's jumped ship on this, he's jumped ship on that. He's got to negotiate with both sides of the aisle. If he were to go in and say, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, A, B, C, and you're not going to argue with me, then we don't have a republic, a democracy. We have what Cuba had. Just some crazy guy, which I know you guys think he's crazy on the left, just up there dictating what we're going to do. And that's not how America works, boys and girls. That's why we have the election the way we do. Which, speaking of elections, Fidel Castro, did he get elected in Cuba? No, he just took the place over, man, run roughshod over everybody. Well, bam, you're going to listen to me and do it like I say do it. And that's that. And that's the way it is. I think I said that more than once tonight. It must be on my mind. But you guys are killing the memes tonight. I'm telling you, thanks to Jill Stein, Hillary will be the first woman to lose the same election twice. Well, hey, there you go. She wanted to be the first woman to do some stuff. She could be the first woman run for office that went to jail, found guilty of treason and everything else. That would be cool. Wouldn't have a problem with that. But I am digging the memes you guys are posting up. That's pretty cool. And it's funny because, man, it's like the right side of the aisle is getting wound up, man. That is cool. It's about time. And you guys really need to stand up and make your voices heard and push harder and do more about this. And I'm going to talk about Trump's cabinet, which somebody asked me about what I thought about his cabinet fix. It's not settled yet. I'll talk about that on the next 20. But right now, excuse me, let's think for a minute. No, I'm not going to say that. That would come across a little bit even rude for me. I won't do that. But oh, if you guys could see what I was thinking. But anyway, back to the show at hand. What do you guys think about California? Now, we had Texas want to leave and succeed from the United States, back there in the early years of Obama and all that stuff. Now, California's talking about it, and they actually have taken steps to do so. Personally, I think let them have it, man. Fence that thing off, put a wall up over there too, and let the liberals run it. I mean, what gets me is they talk about they want to take a step away, and they're doing all these good things in California where the crime rate's through the roof, they're bankrupt, yada, 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 but yet they want to succeed from us. Hey, that's cool, man. Take your little piece of sinking land, and you live off of it because we're going to cut all the aid off and let them do their thing. It would be great. It would be wonderful, but that ain't going to happen. We all know it. Just like everybody said they was going to pack their bags and move to Canada, which Canada said, no, you're not moving here. I don't know if they're racist and didn't want to go to Mexico, but, anyway, nobody left. I don't think not one person. If you know of anybody that left the country because Trump was a president-elect, please let me know, because I would love to. I haven't seen one single post. Whoopi, she, did her thing. She just, I'm not going anywhere. She's not, none of them are going anywhere. Not one. I want to know if anybody has seen anyone pack their bags and leave the United States because Trump is president-elect and will be president come Inauguration Day. Please let me know about it, because it ain't happening. Where could you go and have it this good? Nowhere. Not anywhere at all. So they're not going. And George Clooney, you can kiss both cheeks of where I'm sitting right now, because he's probably one that I despise the most because of all the crap he says against America. And he wants to call us arrogant and all this crap. And then he speaks about racism, yada, yada, yada. And let's see, he stands up for Black Lives Matter, but his last movie, he had no black actors in. So I don't, get his point. He's kind of lost as a fart in a whirlwind, right? Yeah, go figure. I think he's a little smucked up like a Smurf, but, hey, that's just my opinion of the guy. Does he make good movies? Yeah, he makes good movies, but he needs to stick to doing that. And that's the thing today. Just like with Leah Remini, or however you say her name, she said that she has a platform to speak on because she's an actress. Well, she does, because otherwise nobody would listen to her. So you kind of have to take, that with a grain of salt, and we're going to have to put up with the actors and actresses out there calling and saying what they want to say, but it doesn't mean you can't hold them accountable. It doesn't mean that if you disagree with, let's say, George Clooney, not that I'm picking on the fool, but let's say you want to boycott his movies. Hey, I did. I kind of hate it because the guy makes some good movies, but I won't, I'm not going to pay to go see one. Let me put it that way. If it comes on free and I happen to catch it, that's a whole different ball game. But I am not paying to watch one of his movies. Not going to happen. Not on my watch, they say. But Clooney, I mean, that Joker, and what brought me to thinking about him is somebody just posted his video again. And it's no new news that he has said that he was leaving and, all this stuff. And you guys watching, yeah, I'm getting messages. Well, thank you. And a little compliment there on Twitter. I don't use Twitter that much. I just don't find it. I mean, I'm just now really getting into using Instagram. And I know social media is just like crazy. We tried doing the live feed, and we're doing obviously for you guys watching on YouTube, and then of course listening on the app. Which, if you are watching on YouTube, YouTube guys out there and gals, especially the ladies, I shouldn't say that, should I? Yeah, I should. Why not? Don't forget we also have the app. So tap the app, tap that app. See, you see where I was going with that one. I shouldn't say it to the ladies, but it's all right. We're not that thin-skinned here, are we? Of course not. Are you talking to yourself, Highway? Yes. Well, that's where I get the good answers from. All right. Now, what else do we have to talk about tonight? We talked about Ohio. Talked about a little bit about the recount, which is a total freaking waste of time. We talked about Fidel Castro is gone. And now I will say a man that I admire who is turning 9. I don't know if he had his birthday yet or not. I could look it up, but you guys can do it. But Tony Bennett turning 90. If he hadn't already, he's about to. So that's cool. He's still doing his thing. And matter of fact, he's got an opening act coming up somewhere in Texas. Somebody told me at a new venue there. He's going to be, I think, the first entertainer there. Oh, and one thing about Fidel Castro, and I keep bouncing around, I know, because there's so much. I've been gone for a week, so I'm all over the place. Bear with me. But I think it's so funny, or ironic, moronic, however you want to term it, our good old San Francisco 49er, Kaepernick, was just wearing one of his shirts like a week or two ago in an interview. Now his hero's gone. So, and that T-shirt probably costs more than what most Cubans make down there, because it was probably some designer shirt. Kaepernick's wearing it. It wasn't no $5 shirt, but that's what gets me is these people don't even pay attention to, and gosh, I hate talking about Kaepernick because it gives them airtime. But take that idiot. Yes, I called him an idiot because of the way he thinks. And he's praising someone like Fidel Castro, who, again, as I stated before, has a history that we know he didn't care for black people, but yet you want to call Trump a racist and you're okay with that. And you want to bash somebody that wears a Trump T-shirt, but you'll wear a Fidel Castro shirt, who is just a known hateful person. I mean, he's a communist socialist pig, and thank God he's gone. And I find it very funny that Kaepernick was just wearing one of his shirts. Oh my gosh. If that guy would just go away. Don't go away mad. I don't care if he goes away mad. Just go away. But, somebody just posted Ben Carson taking a position with Trump. Well, I know that. So tell me something else. We just got to figure out which one it's going to be, which we'll talk about his cabinet coming up here after the commercial break. That's on its way in 2 minutes. 2 minute warning, 2 minute warning, 2 minute warning. Football this past weekend, man, I'll tell you what, it was crazy. I cannot believe the Cowboys are having the year they're having. And yes, I'm bouncing around shiny things. I know, but I'm not a Cowboys fan. And now I think that the first time they had a winning season in like forever, 10 games in a row. I forget how far back, but a long way back. I mean, I don't even remember them winning 10 games anyway. But, and how did I get on that? Because I was talking about Kaepernick's stupid self. That's how I got on that. Ask me how I got on that. All right. Eric, definitely prayers for your daughter out there. Prayers requested and prayers given. So we got a Facebook friend whose daughter is obviously having some tough times. So prayers to you. And we're going to take a commercial break and be right back with you. So don't go anywhere. Bills to pay. Highway Jack, Angry American Show, right back with you shortly. I have to tell people that get prayers. That's what the world's for. Help people out. Yeah, help somebody do it. Go give somebody a hug. All right. Highway Jack, Angry American, back with you. Man, that commercial break went quick. Sitting here looking at the page, and bam. I hear me being called back. All right, we're back with you for sure, for sure. All right, let's talk about the cabinet we got going on. There's a lot of speculation about who is going where, but the biggest conversation, I guess, that's got everybody ticked off is the fact that Trump is even talking to Romney. Well, let's face it. You may not like the guy, and yes, him and Trump had some heated debates, and some very bad things were said. And yeah, normally you'd want to throat punch somebody that said something like that about you. But you got to give it to Trump for being a little open-minded and diverse when it comes to his cabinet, because he's saying, hey, this guy has some potential. He's been in politics, and will he make a good Secretary of State? Better than, say, Giuliani? I don't know. I want to tell you, this is going to blow some minds out there, and I'm going to catch a lot of static about this. But personally, and I said this today in a conversation, yeah, I caught static then too. I think you're going to love this. Wait for it. Sarah Palin, Secretary of State. I think she's very well spoken. I think she knows more than a lot of people give her credit for. And I think that she would work very well around the globe to fix some of the broken stuff that we have had going on. Now, is she better than Romney? Probably not when you're talking from a mental aspect of politics, but as far as dealing with delicate situations, I think so. I just do. And not because she's an attractive female, but one, yes, because she is female, and Secretary of State dealing with other countries. You've got the military for the strong part. So let's put a little finesse in there. And I think that she would bring that to the table. I could be totally off base. I have no idea. Actually, I do. I have a good idea. I think she would be good at it. But that's my opinion. Again, she's not Mitt Romney. I think it's a good, that he opened the door and said, you know what, you said some stupid stuff about me, and I'm willing to put that under the table if we can work on it. So there's a lot of folks out there that are being talked about. You got Romney, Giuliani, Ben Carson. We know that he's taken. And the thing that gets me about Carson, and somebody sent a message that he's taking a position. I just remembered looking here on the paper, that is, because my memory is like my hair, it's gone. Carson's supposed to take the housing of urban development. And I understand his reasoning for that, although, he's saying, I'll take it because I came from a broken community and, poor community, and I made a successful career out of it. And I think I can lead people in that direction, which is admirable to say the least. But I think he has, better position, Surgeon General. I think it would be a better choice for him, but we'll see. He's going to lead housing and urban development. Maybe it'll be the right step for him. I hope so. I hope that Trump is taken. There's so many names. Jeff Sessions from Alabama for Attorney General was up. You got Mike Papano for CIA Director, which I think was it Petraeus or somebody, guys, that was being talked about for possible CIA Director also. Lieutenant General Mike Flynn, National Security Advisor to the White House, which Trump can just put him in there. He doesn't need any Senate confirmation on that, which is another thing, talking about Senate and Congress, the House and everything. Even if the recount goes sideways, the Republicans can still put Trump in there. It'd be a black eye, but they can still do it. So no worries. Trump's still going to be president-elect and president come Inauguration Day. Anybody disagrees with that, you're on the left side of the aisle, and I don't want to hear about it. But anyway, there's been a ton of people. Let's see, any other names that you guys might recognize? Governor Nikki Haley for ambassador to the UN. Yeah, probably so. Republican donor. I don't get into letting donors. I understand they help the cause, and yeah, she's a choice activist. But really, because she's a donor, Betsy DeVos for education secretary, I'm not sure. The whole donor thing, it's like you bought your way in. And yeah, well, it's politics, right? But that goes to the whole Clinton camp pay for play thing. I'm not really down with that. So I'm not real sure on where to go with that. I'd have to do some research on that one. Other leading contenders for roles: billionaire investor Wilbur Ross for Commerce Secretary. Really? Oh man, there's another pay for play. I'm not digging that. Chicago Cubs co-owner and Republican donor Republican donor. Here we go again. Todd Ricketts for Deputy Commerce Secretary. Some common ground there. Not really digging that one. Trump fundraiser and finance executive Steve Manchanen. I can never say his name. Don't ask me to repeat it right because I won't get it. Now, one thing I do like, I'm actually loving, is General James Mattis for Defense Secretary. Yes, that I'm down with. We definitely need to bring some more generals and put them in prominent positions to where they can actually do their damn job and not be held back. Okay, this country was to be feared is to be respected sometimes. And we have always been feared up until the last couple of, well, I won't say the last couple. George Sr. was okay. George W. took a decent stance his first 4, but the last 12 have been not so good. And of course, as I mentioned, also for Secretary of State, New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani, which I was not a big fan of Giuliani coming out of the gate, back even for a New Yorker. But, you know, the guy's good. Now, one thing I'm really kind of surprised, and I don't watch Huckabee's show anymore, but I don't see Huckabee on here, and that kind of surprises me. Let's see, as far as rivals, before I may put my foot in my mouth, which, you know, might be the first time, but let's see if Huckabee's name is on the rivals to be reckoned. We know, of course, Romney. Then you got Florida Senator Marco Rubio. That would be, wow, that would be something if he became on Trump, the Trump train there. Let's see. Anybody else of commonality? Romney's name keeps popping up all over the place. Ricketts also likely to be named Deputy Post Commerce. Well, we talked about that. So yeah, I mean, I don't see Huckabee on here. That is kind of surprising. This is released today. Wow. Much like past presidents, Trump has moved to reward the party's donor base with plum post in the administration. Well, we all know that. I mean, it's politics, guys. Unfortunately, you got to reward those that help you out. I don't know that you would call it pay for play. It just depends on how deep that enrichment goes. I'm not real sure on that. Jeb Bush. Oh man, his name's actually, he's going to do something with Jeb. I'd kick Jeb to the curb so far, he would not even be. Well, now that I see why he's been, oh my God, promoted both the school choice and Common Core education standards, yada, yada, yada. Oh my gosh. Common Core, I hope, is going away. So Jeb, I hope you don't have any ground to stand on anywhere there. Common Core guys, is there anybody out there that even can make heads or tails out of Common Core? I, for one, am not a fan of it because it makes no sense. 2 + 3 is 5, not 2 minus this and that, and add Johnny this and Betty's that. Oh my God, it makes no sense at all. Did I add that right? 2 + 3 is 5. I think I got that one right. Let's see. Anybody else on the train here that is worth mentioning? No. Oh, well, it said they're not all white men. Imagine that. Of course not. We knew that. The first 3 people were appointed was Carson, black guy, gay guy, and the head lady on Trump's campaign. Forget her name, but you know, hey, that's just me. So right now we're looking at Giuliani and Romney for Secretary of State. Okay, so I don't know. I'm going to have to say Giuliani because he supported Trump. Romney, I know you want to go out big, but you know, I mean, Gingrich is not going to have a part. Again, that's old drain the swamp politics right there. Gingrich needs to go away. Huckabee, here we go. His name was mentioned. He spoke out against Romney. Way to go, Mike. All right, I'm down with that. I'm good with you on that. No doubt about it. Receiving, it's not worth mentioning. That was a tweet, not worth mentioning. A tweet from a twat. Did I say that right? A tweet from a twit. That sounds better. That sounds better. Oh, I'm going to catch some female backlash on that one. Oh, well, big city, get with the program. If your feelings get hurt that easy, no crayons, no Play-Doh. I got to tell you. Let's see. I don't really see anybody else's name on the list that really, you know, is hitting hard on the cabinet side. You know, I hope that he can pull those together and pick some good people. and do the draining of the swamp, man. That's it. You know, I'm gonna go with that. Those are the only names that I see worth mentioning. And I want to hold him, the Trumpster, the Donald, the man with the plan. I hope to God he winds up being Tower Power Man of the decade, not Man of the hour, because this country needs it. We need a strong dude running this thing. I'm not for a female president. Hate it for you ladies. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to sound sexist about it. It's just, that's me. I'm old school, just like I don't think women should be in combat. And I know there's a ton of you women that are just like, he's losing his mind. Let me let you in on something, ladies. I lost my mind a long time ago. It's been a long, long time. But I don't think women should be in combat either. I'm not saying you can't be in the military. I'm not saying that at all. I don't think you should be in combat. And here's my deal on that. And I wasn't planning on going on this, but since somebody just said why, I'll tell you why. We know that men get sexually abused and torture. You know, what gets done to our men and women that the left wants to talk about us not doing is way worse. I mean, waterboarding, everybody pitched a fit about. Let me tell you something. Waterboarding is nothing compared to what gets done to our men and women. I mean, I forget if it was one or two, and it was probably all wars and beyond. But I mean, here's something for you to think about. You think waterboarding's bad? All right, I'm going to break this down. I'm going to hurt somebody out there. You're going to feel, man, you're about to hurt. Your genitalia is about to hurt. But they would take a glass rod, you know, like you would stir a beaker with in science class, insert that into a man's, late night radio boys, into a man's penis, and then break it. Okay, so every time you had to go to the bathroom and you had to urinate, men, imagine all those splinters of glass inside you. Okay, and you want to tell me waterboarding's bad? I'll take it. I'll take plenty of drinks of water before I take something like that. So I don't want to hear about it. So now you want to know why I don't think women should be in combat? If that doesn't give you an idea, let me tell you something, ladies. Rape is a bad enough thing. I mean, I would, oh man, rape is like, that is horrible. I would hate for a woman to have to deal with that. But think about combat. Rape would be, that would be a minute thing to have to worry about. And that sounds like I'm making light of it, and I'm not. I'm saying that would be the tip of the iceberg. So yeah, I don't think you should be in there in combat, ladies. I'm sorry. A few of you are disagreeing, and I would call you out, but I'm not going to because I like you. And if you post something on Angry American page why you think you should be in combat, then that's your choice, but I won't call you out on it. But I will say that if you ladies are going to continue to want to be in combat and you want to be a Green Beret, a Ranger, a SEAL, whatever you think you want to be, then you need to toe the line. All this substandard stuff and lowering the bar, and how I went from politics to this, that's the way I roll. I bounce around like a ping-pong ball. Anyway, my point is very simple. If you want to be in combat, you need to be able to do the same exact thing that the men should be able to do. There should be no sugarcoating it, no watering it down. If you can't tote my butt off the battlefield because you're a female and you didn't have to during training, crap, no, As far as I know, the firemen and women out there that have to do their job, they have the same rigorous test. At least last I saw they did. So that's why I don't think you should be in combat. Now, I know we have some awesomely trained females. I know there's some females that could kick my butt up one side, down the other. I wouldn't even know what happened to me. I'd be out so fast. But it's a different story when you're in combat. You get caught, things happen, and maybe that's just me being the overprotective guy that I am. Maybe. Apparently, America disagrees with me, and you guys are in combat. So, you know, hey, you got what you wanted there. I disagree with it. I don't like it. And I tell you, I hope that none of my daughters ever decide to go in the military and, you know, become active for combat duty. I would hope not. If my son were to do so, I wouldn't have a problem with that at all. That's his choice. But I would not want one of my daughters to do it. I wouldn't want You know, if I was, and I have had relationships with women that were in the military, and it's a tough deal. I mean, it's, you know, it's something that you got to worry about. But okay, so somebody posted, and I didn't know. I know that Wisconsin said they could count their votes pretty quick. Somebody just posted Trump won Michigan again. So I don't know if that's true. Didn't know that they had already started the roll on the. See, I told you guys I took a week off, so you know, hey, I'm being like lamestream media right now. If I make a mistake, it ain't my fault, right? Let's see what the survey says. Did Trump win Michigan again? If anybody wants to tell me you did, if they've already done that count, let me know, because maybe they're. I think they got it wrong. I mean, they went to Michigan, went to college in Michigan, so maybe they were talking about the football game and they don't really realize that it wasn't the election part. I don't know. And I'm trying to talk and type at the same time. It's like trying to chew bubble gum and walk at the same time. And I don't type that good anyway. Okay. It does say Michigan to certify presidential election today. Recount may follow. That was 3 hours ago. So, you know, I'll search it some more and I'll post it on the page if it winds up being true. I hope it is. You know, I mean, I already told you my thing. This whole recount thing is, I got to wait for the dust to settle. I want to see what it's about, because there is, as always with the left, there's an agenda there. So, you know, we'll see. Now, my combat thing, and thanks for getting me off track. See, I think she posted that, and yes, it was a female. I think you posted that to draw my attention away from talking about women in combat, but that's okay. All right. Just had a post on the Ohio. Now that you guys aren't calling, I hope I turned the phone on. Actually, I know I did, because you guys would have told me if I didn't. To answer about the Ohio thing, we have a message about signs and carrying. Now, here's the thing about campus carry, and I don't live in Ohio, so I can't state this for a fact, but they're saying that signs don't hold weight. That's not the law. But if the law states no campus carry, then that's not just a sign being. That's not like going into Waffle House and saying that you can carry because there was a sign posted on the door and the manager asked you to leave. That's a whole different ball game. Okay, now I'm not a lawyer, so I can't tell you 100% to carry or not to carry. I will tell you that as a red-blooded American who cares about his family, himself, and his friends and loved ones, I carry anywhere that's legal. I will leave it at that. But as far as you saying that a campus carry sign is not law, I would strongly recommend getting legal advice before you take that step on campus carrying. Even though Ohio is an open carry state, seek legal advice on that. Don't take my word for it. I don't want you going to jail. Your life is just now getting started. Even though you're in college, getting indoctrinated with liberal agenda crap, don't go to jail in the process. So that being said, yeah, the sign thing, I understand what you're saying, but again, legal advice is definitely advisable. All right, let me see. Anybody else with a quick question? We have 2-minute countdown. Anything worth mentioning? And if I don't mention your question, don't take it personal. A lot of guys hitting on Castro going, WikiLeaks drops another bombshell on Clinton. That just come up. Somebody sent that, so check that out. I will definitely be looking that one up. So it would be interesting to see what they're dropping, which will keep Clinton probably in her cave for a little while longer, which, hey, I'm good with that too, because I can't. Man, if you guys didn't see the pictures I posted when she come out of hiding, holy cow, she looked like she'd been on a, well, we know she'd been on a bender for a while. But, you know, crazy Clinton, flip-flop Clinton, Clinton the criminal, whatever you want to call her, you know, crooked Hillary, crooked Clinton, you know, she definitely has got issues. Man, you guys are posting some rough memes on Castro. Wow. But hey, he's dead and gone, as they say. And that's going to wrap up my part of the night with you guys. I appreciate you spending an hour with me. I know it was I bounced around. I didn't have my 10-man here to run roughshod with me to keep me on track. So, hey, like I tell you, man, I'm like a ping pong ball. I just bounce around and there's stuff to be told and I just tell it. You don't say anything different. I appreciate the messages, by the way. Thank you so much. Check out the rest of the week. World According to Mike tomorrow, Rough Edge Wednesday, Rock and Roll Radio. And ladies, we'll be back after the first of the year, after the holiday season. And I will be back with you next week. And hopefully some of these things I mentioned, I'll be able to enlighten you on. The recount will be done. And hopefully the dust will settle. And we will see what is really behind Stein raising that $7 million goal. That's going to wrap up my Manic Media Monday. That's right, self-named. And I am Highway Jack, the Angry American, although I'm pretty damn happy right now because things are going good. So you guys have a great night. Thanks as always. God bless you. God bless this great country. America, baby. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate your comments. See you next week.